Well, welcome back everybody to Motorsport Manager then. The penultimate race of the season coming up in Milan this episode. And it's getting crunch time really. We really did get away with it last time. Because that could have been so much worse. We could have had both the Lucatelli cars on the podium or something, and our lead would have been cut. As it was, we only lost a point to Lucatelli, so we still have a 10-point advantage. With a maximum of 36 points that we could lose in the next two races if we didn't finish out the points and Lucatelli finished 1 and 2 every race. So I'm hoping we can maybe either seal it up or get very close to sealing it up in Milan. Hopefully we can have a great race, maybe extend this lead. And 18 points, that's that magic margin. If we can beat Lucatelli Racing by 8 points, we will take the championship. But that's going to be a very tall order. Right, first decision I've made is we're now going to stop putting parts on the car. We're just going to get as much money as we can in the bank for next season. I think I've made my decision if we do get promoted, but we'll leave that. We've had too much talk about the last few episodes. Let's concentrate on making sure we do get promoted so that it is a quandary that we do face. Because at the moment, we still don't know. And our chairman, surprisingly, is not feeling too good about us at the moment. Really wasn't happy with Tondela last time out, -19. So hopefully we can improve his satisfaction with us, which winning the championship would do. So let's get on with this episode, shall we? We're going to just maximise the parts as we can. We got one new sponsor offer. We got the maximum of 3 offers available, so we can have a look at them now. So 4 races, 450 up front, 85,000 per race, 150,000 for 6 races, or $1 million for 10. So the best offer there is going to be that $1 million up front, because that's 900,000. That's a lot less. I'm not going to work out that maths. So we'll go with LaRocco and get that £1 million into the bank as soon as possible. Repairs are finished, so we can start taking a look at what we can do with the parts for the next race then. So everything looking pretty good on the car. I think performance can definitely do some work. Reliability, we're pretty much good across the board. A lot of these new parts we've been putting on the car have been top dollar in terms of their reliability out the box. Suspension could do a bit of work. So what are we working on? We can probably take that 88 off and put it onto this suspension. We're improving those 2 suspensions. Still got a little way to go on both of those. Got a little bit we could improve that gearbox, but that's really not much in the grand scheme of things. Only 4 there, but about 17 there, so we'll definitely continue on that one. And both our brakes, we've got some improvements we could make. I think we'll leave things as they are at the moment. Don't know why that's split like that. Let's go 15.5. I do want to improve that reliability a little bit. Just keep pumping it up. You never know when you can have a tough race and the parts might give way, or you're going to have to push the whole of a race. So we shall see. We've got another vote coming up for next season. Again, I hope it's not going to influence us, but it depends. If we decide to stay in this division, then we can. So they're going for low profile tyres, the second lowest performance tyre around, however coming in at a fairly cheap price of 15,000 per race. We caught Alex Jarvis trying to sneak information out of the garage. He might have been going to leak it to some of the other teams. Who is Jarvis? He's one of our race mechanics. Ooh, now Alex, that's not good, really. A fine should suffice. Leave it, or fire him. Now, we can't really afford to lose 25 from the chairman, but we cannot afford to lose our mechanic this close to the end of the season. And he signed on for another few years. But chairman's really not going to like this, but there's not much we can do. I can't afford to lose 50. I don't really want to lose that mechanic relationship. We're going to have to. So it's a fine. Chairman, yeah, really did not like that at all, but there's not much we could do. And And that relationship, we've lost that level 2 quick fixes bonus, but we got good reliability, so that shouldn't matter too much. It was sort of the worst. You know, they were all bad options there. There's not much we could have done. But we'll move on and just concentrate on the racing, which is all that matters at this point of the season. These are just things to unsettle us and throw us off. And that's clearly a rival team worried about our dominance of the championship, trying to get an upper hand on us. Do what you like, guys. We're gonna win. Nothing you can do about it. Low profile tyres, they're going to be cheaper. Will benefit teams with low budgets. We've apparently got a low budget. I'm going to abstain. I really don't care. I'll be honest. There are going to be rules that I'd rather save these all up. Hopefully they transfer over to next season. We're not going to get them anyway. Hopefully these will transfer over to next season when we'll know which championship we're in, and we'll care much more about influencing the rule sets. Right, let's just pause because apparently our performance work is done. Yep, so we've got nothing on performance. Right, let's go with these 2 brakes. Let's go with that engine. And we've got a little bit to gain on that gearbox. And we're good. We're golden. Okay. And we're nearly ready to go then. Now, last time out we did make some mistakes, but I'm still in the mind that, you know, our car is 4th best. We should be on numbers finishing 7th and 8th. So the fact that we still scored points on a race that we did pretty badly on is a good sign. And one that I will use to fill the team with positivity ahead of the weekend. Right, we are ready for Milan then. Just 2 races to go, and we could take our first championship of this Let's Play. Nearly, what are we now, like 45 episodes in? Finally going to win a championship. We did it, Mum. Actually, let's not get carried away. We haven't done it yet. Right, and I cannot stress this enough. I have a tendency to fuck everything up, so let's hope that doesn't happen, hey? Right, we've got no new parts on the car, so we will be sticking with what we've got. I shall go and get practice done now, and I shall be back with you for the race. Okay, so practice is over then. Not too bad. 97% for Dreyfus, 95 for Eka. It was a mixed weather session, so a little bit on dry, a little bit on intermediate. Meant we didn't gain too much knowledge on either set of tyres. Luckily, the one we got more knowledge on was intermediates, and it's looking like a wet race. It's also looking like it's going to go to wet tyres incredibly quickly. So let's get these knowledge slots done anyway. So intermediates. Ooh, that's a good one. Wearing more slowly. I'm going to go risk it and go for that, and hope that we're going to get some extended intermediate running later in the race. And then for Dreyfus, we will go with race trim and engine expert, just in case. Then we've got both corners covered. If it is wet tyres, that intermediate boost is useless. Engine expert is invaluable, and race trim is always going to be a bonus no matter what the conditions. Right, so we're going to be starting on the wet tyres. That'll be what the AI are doing, and looking at the weather forecast, that's the right thing to be doing. So we don't really need to change anything on that front. I could try and balance out Eka's setting, because that was on great a minute ago, but that was on good. No, let's not mess with anything. 95 is good enough. We'll go with push and high to begin with, and then we'll back it off when needs be. Right, here we go then. Let's hope our 2 drivers can make a good start. That's what always hampers our race. And we know how good Dreyfus is in variable conditions. They've both got a dreadful start. Either that or the car running alongside has got a cracking one. But as we go down to turn 1, then Dreyfus makes up a hatful of positions, up to 16th. Eka down in 20th then. As we kick it up into 2-speed. So we need to keep an eye on what the weather forecast is going to do. At the moment it looks like wet running for quite a while. And we need to get the crossovers right. Last time out in my GT series, I got the crossovers pretty badly wrong, and robbed our team of a good result. So, especially when we're getting to the business end of the season and we're leading the championship, we need to make sure every decision is correct. So, looks like it's going to be drying out. We'll keep an eye on it. Both our drivers failing to make any kind of progress at the moment. I'm going to go back to medium on engine mode to make sure we go as far as possible on the fuel, because we might need that extra lap or two, depending on whether there's going to be an intermediate crossover point or not. We're going to keep pushing because these wet tyres are really struggling to warm up out there. It's very cold at just 11 degrees. Bunch of cars coming into the pits then for fresh wet tyres. There must have been a big incident then. Batista, Cruz, Elstadat and Garrard all pitting unnecessarily. So that's gained us a bunch of positions. We're now up to 13th and 16th respectively then. Dreyfus still trying to make a move, still struggling. What are the AI doing? Yeah, they're pushing hard out there. Maybe we should go to attack as well. Get these tyre temps up and maybe gain a few more positions. Eka making great progress. Up to 11th now. And there's a whole gaggle of cars. If she can get through this midfield, there's a nice gap developing between second and third. We might be dreaming if we think we can get that far up early on. Right, it's going to dry out. And it's looking like it's going to stop raining completely. So these are the kind of crucial moments I'm talking about. Now, I don't think we're going to be able to hold out for intermediate tyres. We've only got 4 laps on the clock. On the fuel gauge. I guess it's kind of a clock, same mechanics, right? Dreyfus is making some progress, by the way, up to 13th. Eka now up to 10th while we go over the strategy. So, tyres are now in their working range, which is good news. Evans is given a drive-through penalty as Eka gets 2 positions into that hairpin. And Dreyfus loses 2 positions. So, what are the AI pitting onto? Are they going to put intermediates on yet, or are they going to wait a little bit? Still waiting for them to come out of the pits. What is going on with those guys? They must be repairing. Okay, 3 cars have gone on to medium tyres on a soaked track. 1 has gone on to intermediates. This game has broken all of a sudden. Right, I'm just going to slow it down so that we're not pressured by this decision. So, we either stack our cars, in which case we can do 2 more laps after this, which will take us just about into dry weather territory, or we stick on the intermediates now, go hard on them, and then put on the dry tyres. I'm going to split the strategies. We're going to go early. Yeah, we're going to go early with Dreyfus onto the intermediates. We're going to fuel her up. Park condition looking okay. And then Eka, we're going to see how far we can go and maybe try and get onto those intermediate tyres. We're now overheating, so we're going to go back to neutral for both cars. Actually, Dreyfus will probably want to attack out of the pits on those intermediates. So, this is this horrible period. It's not going to be good for dry tyres until probably about lap 10. Well, yeah, about 11, 12. And how do these work out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, about lap 12 then is when it's going to be good for dry tyres. And we're not going to be able to go that far. Alright, we're going to pit Eka as well for intermediates. I think it's the right thing to do. I don't think we really needed to put that much fuel in. We could have fueled it a bit shorter. But we can probably use the fuel. So let's go push and high. And we'll go real hard with Dreyfus to try and make up that time. What are the AI doing today? That's 4 cars completely out of that race. Batista and Garrard are pretty much out of the race. Elsadat somehow is back in the race, having made a stop. He's on stonking pace today. Right, and out comes Eka then. Everybody's pitting and they're going on to the dry tyres. It's nowhere near dry enough yet. So we're going to have to go full attack mode for this strategy to work, as we just fly past Valdez on the dry tyres. This is what I'm talking about. So we're on the better tyres. We're going to be so much quicker now. Dreyfus getting held up there, unfortunately. So we're going to have a few flying laps where we're miles quicker than everybody else that for some reason put the dry tyres on. Is that going to be enough to get us a pit stop distance away from people? Right. Let's speed it back up. Let's check we're not destroying the car too badly. We're not. I'm going to go back onto push so we don't overheat the tyres completely. I will still keep using overtake though with the fuel. Right, we're now into 1 and 2. We're going to need about 20 seconds to make a pit stop. And it's almost time for dry tyres already. And we're going to have to stack our two cars. No, we can't stack them. Right, I'm going to have to pit Dreyfus. This is difficult. This is real difficult. The ideal time is going to be in a couple of laps. I don't want to lose time to those on the dry tyres. Right, I'm going to pit Dreyfus. How many laps have we got left? 12. We can only put 10 laps to fuel him. Right, we're going to put soft tyres on. We're going to stick the fuel up. And we're going to pit Dreyfus now. Eka will get one more lap. If we stack them the next 2 laps after this, I think we will be too slow. Dreyfus is going to come back out in 10th place. That's pretty good. Right, we're going to go back down to medium and neutral. Eka we're going to pit on this lap. So she will also go on to 12 on soft tyres. We probably don't need to put too much fuel in. We can't go all the way to the finish. The AI are going to have to pit again, so let's do a short stop. Let's do 6.9 laps of fuel. Yeah, we've really pushed that. We can't push that engine anymore this race. Right, what gap she got? She's got 11 seconds. She's still gaining time, but it's evening out now. So she should come out maybe 4th or 5th. Dreyfus is down in 11th, but she's got fresh tyres. Oh, there's a mistake in the pit stop. She's lost 2.6 seconds. Oh, that was the difference between getting out in that gap and not. She's in 8th then, but she's flying back out the pits. Let's go back to high and push. Let's keep an eye on this gearbox situation. Dreyfus isn't. She can probably go to overtake on engine mode and push with the tyres. She's got a lot of fuel to use up. So this is a stint where we got to make our moves. Because we've got a lot fresher tyres. The AI are going to have to pit once more as well as us. And for the final stint we're going to be pretty level with the AI. We'll have the same kind of fuel loads, both have fresh tyres. This is where we can make the difference. We've got plenty of fuel to burn. We've got nice fresh tyres. Let's blitz it, guys. Dreyfus is already up to 7th then. Eka, let's have a look at her gap ahead. 2.5, 2.4, 2.2. She's absolutely flying right now. Come on, guys. 2nd is there for the taking today. 2nd and 3rd. Masalia's off into the distance. But we can get these 2 cars onto the podium. But it has to be done on this stint. Eka now going around the outside of Cruz and makes the move stick. That's beautiful. Right there. Few car issues for Cruz in 3rd. Dreyfus, purple sectors all the way around the track. Eka's already up into 2nd. I can't keep up with this. I think, yep, a couple of cars have gone in the pits then. So we can go a little bit longer. So we'll pit Eka probably next time around, and then Dreyfus the lap after that. So Let's just double check on that. That engine is really worrying me. We're going to have to go back to neutral and medium, unfortunately, for Eka. We've really pushed that engine. This shows how valuable that wear knowledge slot is. It's given us a huge advantage. Right, we're going to pit Eka this time around onto a fresh set of soft tyres. She's only going to need about 5 laps to the finish. No point in fixing that engine. It should make it to the end. Dreyfus can do one more lap. She can keep pushing that entire time. Might go back to high just to make sure, actually. So we're in first and second. But of course we've got to make one more pit stop. So I think first place is out of the running. Eka may get back out in second. Need a good pit stop here. Let's make Dreyfus' stop as well this next lap. She's only going to need 4 laps of fuel. Let's put 5 in so that she can push right to the end. How much does that add? 1 second to the pit stop. I was wondering if we go 6 and just go really hard. Let's go 6 and go hard to the end of the race. Then she can go on overtake until the end. Right, Eka had a good pit stop. She's come back out in 3rd place. She's a long way down from Massalia. But that's a net 2nd place once Dreyfus pits. So Dreyfus needs to get out in 3rd place. Double podium is on here. We have masterminded this to perfection, as long as there's no mistakes. Come on, pit crew. No, what are you doing? 3 seconds lost. Is that going to be the difference between 3rd and 4th? Ah, she's come out in 5th. That could be a disaster. She's got plenty of fuel though. She's got fresh tyres. She can go after Zoo and Nikanti now. Eka should be safe in 3rd. That engine, yep, that engine's going to make it to the finish, no problem at all. And she should have the pace to hold on. 2.4. We'll keep an eye on that gap. It is coming down a little bit. It's coming down massively. Let's push. Let's push fucking hard. Right, Dreyfus coming up on this group now. Eka needs to keep away from this group. Can we stabilise that gap? 1.6. It's going back up. This is going to strain the engine. But it's needed. 2 laps to go. Oh, here we go. This is just what we need for the championship. We need 2nd and 3rd. And we've all but wrapped it up, I would guess. Come on, Claudia. Let's do this. 2.5. Eka has blitzed that gap again. So we can probably back off to medium fuel just to save that engine. Dreyfus on the back of Nikanti now. Come on. Make the move. If we go attack, she's got plenty of fuel. Go for it. Come on. Down the pit straight. Down the inside into turn 1. Needs to make it stick early. Oh, side by side. She's made it. And she's got 2 seconds to close on Zoo. Let's go down to normal speed for dramatic effect. 1.3, 1.1. Just a couple of chicanes to go. 9 tenths of a second. 8 tenths. 7 tenths. She can literally see the gearbox. She's only got 1 braking zone left. Can't do it. Eka crosses in 2nd. Oh, Dreyfus is in 4th. 1.75 tenths. Just a tenth of a second away from a double podium. That mistake in the pit stop cost us. We should have fired that bloody mechanic. How dare he go and leak information. It might not have been the same one, actually, to be fair. But 2nd and 4th is a cracking result. 1st was a long way out of contention today. It is Massalia in the Lucetti racing car. So, I can't remember who their 2nd driver is, but that's going to depend. That's going to be whether we extend our lead, lose a little bit or not. I don't know. Hopefully Zoo isn't the other Lucetti car. Let's have a look. No, that was Ingledew with 1 point. So yeah, we're gonna lose a little bit of the lead. Masalia takes a massive lead in the Drivers' Championship. Eka moves up into 3rd though. And yeah, that gap goes down to 8 points. And we are not going to be able to have a single mistake in that final race. But we've done really well. We would have maintained the 10 points if we hadn't have had that mistake on Dreyfus's car and she'd got 3rd. But we maintain a lead, a healthy lead, 8 points going into the final race of the season, and we can work with that. We can. I'm hoping, upon hope, that we can have a clean race next time out. Right, Dreyfus not too happy with that race apparently, but both our drivers still improving. Eka just improving all the time. She's got a huge amount of potential left in her. Dreyfus is reaching that potential. She's nearly there. Chairman again not happy. 8%. He's like, you know what? I'm actually gonna take on board what you've done there. You've maintained the championship lead. You've only lost 2 points. We can defend that going to the final race. You know what? Good job. Good job. Oh, what a race. That was a very tricky one. We had to manage a lot of differing conditions there. I hope you all thought I did a good enough job on the strategy. I think the team let us down a little bit there. I think that's what let us down. 2nd and 3rd would have been a cracking result. 2nd and 4th is still pretty good. And I think we made all the right calls at the right time. But as always, do let me know down in the comments whether you agree with that, whether you would have done anything differently, and your predictions for the final race in Russia, the Black Sea GP. Do you think we're going to hold on to that 8-point lead? And I don't think Dreyfus can overturn that championship lead, but we can hope, hey? Leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Just lets me know that you're enjoying the series. And just give me information to continue making it for you guys, because let's be honest, actually I'd probably play this game if no one was watching. It's a brilliant fucking game. I just hope they bring out another DLC soon. I'd like some more content, although there's some great mods. Do go check those out if you're getting a little bit stale with the main game. But until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.